Thank you for joining me today. My name is Jarrell Dulé. I am a full-time games developer. I am also a qualified educator for training and assessment at Cert 4 level. My career includes public speaking, event organizing, training, industry consultant, and I offer guidance, direction, and an understanding of industry cultures to CEOs and business owners. Recently, we have seen many news outlets such as Time Magazine, Wired, and also a number of irrelevant smaller outlets who have destroyed their credibility over the years, like PC Gamer, Kotaku, and The Gamer, attack and blame general consumers, gamers, for causing video games to be bad products and failing commercially. This is quite wrong, and it is contrary to the truth, so I will explain that today. Many factors contribute to the commercial failure of a product. What is consistent is that products that are not fit for purpose, that are poor quality, are extremely unlikely to become financially successful. What causes a product, a video game, to become not fit for purpose? Unlike other industries, game development is reliant on creativity, artistic expression, and an understanding of communication. If a person lacks the social intelligence to communicate with others, which requires listening skills, then a person lacks social intelligence and will lack the competence necessary to create a product fit for purpose. A poor quality product is created by incompetent creators. Today, I will explain exactly who is responsible for products, video games, that are poor quality and not fit for purpose. So who actually makes video games and who causes them to be so bad that they fail? Let's have a look at our criteria. Number 1, people who make games. 2, people who enable the games to be made. And 3, people who play the games. These are very different categories. These people enable the games but don't necessarily make the games themselves. And these people have nothing to do with the creation of the game, which means that the game is made and these people have absolutely no control or influence over that. Number 1, external funders. External funders allow a game to be made by providing funds. Let's have a look at the director. The director is responsible for the product as they have creative vision and they manage the teams and must keep track of the product over the development time span and make adjustments and corrections where necessary. They have the lead vision, and so the end product is directly tied to the director there. We have 3D modelers. Not every game uses 3D graphics, but many games these days use 3D graphics, so a 3D modeler is in there. The 3D modelers do not necessarily come up with the designs, but they are very heavily involved with the creation process. It is the character designers that design, they come up with the actual designs of the characters. Let's see, we have composer here. I'll send this to the front. Composer comes up with the music, which is very important to games. People often become quite emotionally invested in the music of the game because they're such a huge part of the experience. So we'll go ahead and put that there, and there is no crossover there. We also have the writer who is in charge of the overall story and narrative. So let's go ahead and bring the writer there. So if the story is good or bad, that's entirely down to the writer, but often the writer will work with the director to make sure that the story has an overall cohesive vision and that it matches the rest of the product. We also have lore director, which is something that is a newer role that we see these days, especially when we are creating products that are directly tied to an established IP where the lore is heavily dense. We have stakeholders. They hold stake. They can be part of the external funders. They provide capital and they expect to earn a return on investment. So the game is created, is sold, it earns money, and the stakeholders will receive their return on investment over that. We have quality assurance. They do not directly create the games, but they work with the rest of the development team to ensure that the game itself is acceptable when it comes to the playability, offering feedback if they find any glitches. We have programmers, of course. They do the brunt work of creating the logic which allows the game to function. We also have level designers who create the environments. Again, not every game will use level designers. Okay, we have director in there twice. Let's go ahead and get director out of there. And lastly, we have gamers. Now, contrary to popular belief, according to all of the news media outlets that you see out there, gamers do not enable the games through funding. They do not make the games. Gamers merely play the games. Let's go ahead and put gamer here. We also have streamers who play the games, but they do not make the games either, contrary to popular belief. So the streamer will go down here into plays the games. And lastly, we have YouTubers who also do not make games. They only play the games. So we will have to put YouTuber down here and play games. Now, if you have a look at our Venn diagram here, you can see who makes the games. All the roles here are filled. We can see who enables the games, and we can see who plays the games. Now, this is a very interesting statistic because it looks like the gamers, streamers, and YouTube don't actually make the games. The people that make the games are 100% responsible for a game either turning out good or bad. A video game is a commercial product, and whether or not it is fit for purpose relies entirely on these people here. These people merely enable the game to be made through financial means, and these people only play the games. So as you can see, it turns out gamers, streamers, and YouTubers are actually not responsible for your game turning out hot garbage. Thank you for watching. Please tune in next time.